It's Wolf. Happy Halloween. Halloween stream. I'm tired out. I don't have any words. So as you guys can tell, we're doing something a little bit interesting for this Halloween stream. I had hinted about it a little bit. I said that this stream was going to be sort of different in that I made a post about it and I had said that it was going to be a game that you maybe have played, but probably in a way that you haven't played it before. And looks like the stream is all set up. So I'm gonna get right into it because I know that this is something. I feel like this stream might be something that like some people might click on, not realizing it's a stream, like when it gets archived and stuff. Um, so I'm gonna kind of get into it and then explain it. But long story short, as you can tell, this is Nintendo on a modded Wii. So Nintendo is a boot launcher, I guess is what you would call it, that lets you play backups of GameCube games on your Wii. And the Wii is a console that can already play GameCube games in general. But Nintendo allows you to play backups of them so that you don't have to actually have the disc in there. Anyway, long story short, and I'm gonna explain this later on after I show you guys the intro and stuff. I actually managed to get a SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom mod to work on real Wii hardware, and that's what this stream is going to be. So it is called Battle for Boo-kini Bottom. And here on the menu, you can see that I have two different versions of Battle for Bikini Bottom. And by the way, before I go any further into this, I just want to note that I did all this legally. I know that sometimes when you do like modded stuff and things like that, there's like people, people joke about like, oh, you can play backups of your own games, wink, wink, that you dumped yourself, wink, wink. No, I do not pirate things. I did this legitly. I dumped this game myself. I own an actual copy of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom on Wii. Yes, insofar as I understand, it is legal to dump games in the US where I live. So, as you can see, it says Battle for Bikini Bottom on both of them, but if you look on here, the file path is a little bit different because I have it in a differently named folder. I have named this one SpongeBob Spook Pants Battle for Boo-kini Bottom, and we're going to launch into it. And I'm actually going to turn my microphone off for probably about like 2 or 3 minutes just to let you guys see the wonderful intro that this thing has in its full glory, because there's a hilarious song that plays at the beginning of it. So I know that usually my game volume is a lot lower than my talking volume, but you guys should be able to hear it still if you listen kind of close. So microphone is going to go off and I'm going to launch this and you guys will see what I mean. And then I will get into like the stream after that.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
All right, boils and ghouls, you ready?
Yeah!
Well, who lives near a graveyard under the sea?
SpongeBob, Sturdy Pants!
Absorbent and yellow and spooky as he.
SpongeBob, Sturdy Pants!
If nautical chills be something you wish,
SpongeBob, Sturdy Pants!
then scream your gills off and flop like a fish.
SpongeBob, Sturdy Pants!
SpongeBob scaredy pants, SpongeBob scaredy pants, SpongeBob scaredy pants, SpongeBob scaredy pants. You're killing me, SpongeBob. You really are.
Okay, so microphone is back on, or at least, oh, look at that. There's a demo that plays. Let me just double check and make sure my microphone is actually back on. Yes, okay, it is. So, this is a Battle for Bikini Bottom mod, and as I mentioned, I am playing this on a real Wii, and I'm gonna explain a little bit that in a minute. I want to note a couple things at the beginning of the stream, so, I'm not gonna be saving my progress because I do have GameCube memory cards, but I don't have, I don't know where they are right now, actually. And I know that there's a way that you can save, like, your GameCube stuff onto your SD card, but I didn't set that up. And I don't even know if it would work since this is a mod on the game, so it's not even the original game. And another thing is, since this is a mod on the game and it's running on an actual Wii rather than on an emulator, there's a chance that it might break. And depending on how long I've streamed for, I might, if it breaks, I might swap over to just emulator for this for a little while, but we will see. So anyway, I don't think it'll break though, because I messed around with this a good bit and it seems to run fine, which is kind of interesting. We'll go ahead and do new game, and we're not going to make a save file because it's not going to save this. And there is an incredible amount of stuff that has been modified in this mod. Yeah. Sorry, I have the hiccups if you just heard that.
Demolished in the process, oh well. With my brand new Duplicatotron 3000, I'll clone an army of robots that will wreak mayhem and destruction at my command. One last review of the checklist. Let's see. Item number 1, is Plankton a genius? Answer yes. Okay, checklist complete. Throw in the switch. Welcome, my perfectly obedient robot army. Hang on. I want to get a photo for my...
Sorry, I kind of accidentally skipped that cutscene. Hang on. Sorry, I kind of skipped that cutscene on accident there because I got called away by family. And when I picked up the controller, skipped it. But I think that cutscene's the same as the normal Battle for Bikini Bottom intro anyway, just with like slightly spookier stuff in the background. Yeah, as you can see though, there's a lot of stuff that has changed to be Halloween related. And there's even like subtitles and stuff that I think have been edited to like match up with the spooky theme, although like the voice acting doesn't match up all the time. I think there might be some custom voice acting in this though, I'm not totally sure. I'm probably not going to be able to play super far into this just because I actually have Halloween plans for once finally. And so I kind of need to go to bed at a reasonable time. It's actually not even Halloween yet for me, although it is for a lot of people. So happy Halloween to those of you who it is Halloween for, and also happy soon Halloween to everybody who it's not Halloween for yet. Gotta explore the rest of SpongeBob's house. Also, okay, so I want to note, apologies if like the video on this looks a little weird. I have this running through my RetroTink, and I'm still working out how to get this to like work. You guys will see my RetroTink thing right here. I think I need to change this. Because that looks... Okay, when I had it on a menu earlier, it looked really kind of bad. This looks a lot better. Okay, it was really blurry for a second there. So, yeah, it looks a lot better. So, apologies for the camera, because, like, this game has a weird camera compared to modern cameras. It's, like, half inverted. And also, I've never played Battle for Bikini Bottom on GameCube. I have played through most of it on PS2. I played through the full rehydrated version on PS4. Yeah.
Fixing this quietly.
Authorities are not sure who is responsible for unleashing the mechanical menaces, but they have assured us that the person is in big trouble.
Uh-oh.
Did I meant so enormous that it's hard to comprehend.
Okay. Your Boo-kini Bottom stinks. Now, I remember in the original game, it was like you had to have a certain number of shiny things, but in this one, you have to smash 10 pumpkins in order to get through there. So that's kind of an interesting change up. And there's also some like different collectibles and stuff. This mod is actually really involved. There's a lot that was changed in this. And it's really impressive. And I would highly recommend checking it out, which reminds me.
This is Akira.
Oh, wait.
Do not worry, though. I am your friend.
Custom.
Even though we haven't met, I just need to give you some tips before you go out there to save Halloween. Every area is very dark, so you might want to proceed with caution. Bubble Buddy is also looking very red for some reason. I don't know what happened, but Squidward is also looking kind of scary and... shoot. I saw a lot of ghosts and bats. How did they get under there? Huh? What was that? I'm gonna go, SpongeBob. Good luck.
So yeah, there was some custom voice acting right there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I need to explain how I got this all working because I didn't really fully do that yet. And I'm actually thinking about possibly making a video separately later on about how I got this working. It wasn't a hard process, but it took me like 4 hours or so to do. I got this all set up actually like 2 weeks ago, and then just kind of left it sitting until until Halloween rolled around, or at least Halloween Eve as it is right now. So okay, so the way I got this working. So first step was to, well, okay, so I originally found out about this through a whole different mod. So if you guys have heard about, what's his name? Kay's Emanuar. I heard about some of his stuff before through Vinny Vinesauce, who, is that a custom photo? What the heck is, what? Is that Sasuke? Who is that? So he is a, oh my god, yes, I know SpongeBob's underwear look like that. Okay, yeah, I know. I've played this. Okay, I know. Sorry. So he is somebody who's pretty well known in like the Mario 64 modding scene, and like I'd heard of him through like Vinny Vinesauce streams because like Vinny has played a bunch of his mods and stuff. And anyway, a while ago he hosted this thing for mods for, well, just various types of mods and stuff, and I think it was mostly focused on like Mario 64 stuff, but one of the things they showed off was Battle for Bikini Bottom Deluxe, I think is what it's called. I believe it's a different developer than who made this. I'm not sure, I might be wrong about that though, but anyway, finding out about that, I was like, oh, that looks really cool, like I wonder how that works, and it led me to finding out about other Battle for Bikini Bottom mods and how Battle for Bikini Bottom modding works and everything. And so, hey, there's our 10 pumpkins. So, in the process, I kind of found out that, like, okay, you know, there's already a handful of really cool mods that exist for Battle for Bikini Bottom, like this one, and then there's a couple other ones, too, that do, like, various radical changes to the game. And the way that most of them are on the GameCube version of the game, and then I was looking up, okay, like, how do you even do this? And so, first step was I needed to get a copy of Battle for Bikini Bottom, because like I said, I'm not a pirate, I wasn't going to pirate it, so I needed to get a copy of Battle for Bikini Bottom and a modded Wii. Now, I already owned a Wii, but I'm the type of person I do like to kind of keep, like,
Under the waves, pirates, skeletons, and sea monsters.
I think that's custom
Sorry.
voice acting again.
Go away, SpongeBob. You're polluting my thinking space.
Thanks, Plankton.
Trying to steal the Krabby Patty from me like
I am probably going to skip over a good amount of this dialogue just because, like, some of it's pretty similar, and I mostly want to, like, show what areas look like and stuff. Eventually, I might come back to this in, like, a video and, like, explore it more in depth. But so, I needed to get a modded Wii and Battle for Bikini Bottom. Like I said, I already owned a
SpongeBob, I just dropped by to give you a bubble hand.
bloody hand. Bloody Buddy? Oh my god, did they actually... Yeah, they even changed the name to Bloody Buddy. Blood Bubble. The Bloodbath. Yes, that is. Yep. So I already had a Wii, but I'm the type of person, like, if I'm gonna modify a console, I want to have like a stock console and a modded console. So I actually, through my job, I was able to get a sorry, I'm gonna keep getting interrupted for a while here. Oh yeah, here's the different sounding Mr. Krabs that's in this game.
But because you're gullible, I'm gonna help you out. And of course, make a small... Of course. What are employers for? Your treasure chest's looking a bit light, boy. Do you think...
If I remember, it's Patrick. Instead of socks, he wants you to collect something else.
Patrick, nice sock.
Candy. Yeah.
The one you're standing. Well, if that one's lost,
Well, they're more lost. A bunch of robots came through here and stole my whole sock collection.
sure thing, Patrick.
Okay then, for every 10 socks you bring back to me.
You mean that?
Bless you.
I think the first place we're gonna go is... I'd like to get to Goo Lagoon, but I don't know how long that'll take. So we're gonna go to Jellyfish Fields. And how many do I need to unlock Goo Lagoon? Is it 5 or is it 10? I don't know if we'll be getting to Goo Lagoon tonight. Goo Lagoon was always one of my favorite spots in Battle for Bikini Bottom, though. Yeah, I don't know about that one tonight. Okay, but so, yeah, needed a modded Wii, and so through my job, as with a lot of the stuff that I've bought, I was able to get one really cheap. Well, not a modded Wii, but just a second Wii really cheap. And I found a couple of tutorials, and you know what? I wasn't sure. I meant to look this up before the stream, so give me 1 second here. I want to tell you guys exactly whose tutorials I used, because they were very useful. So I want to give them a shout out. Let me make sure I've got the right one. Yes, I believe I found him. Funky Scott 47 has some oh yeah, Squid. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. Squidward is like the spooky, like creepypasta Squidward.
Squidward, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay, you barnacle.
Well, your nose does look pretty big. I mean, bigger than usual because it's usually pretty big. And you look clammy. And oh my gosh, you're bald!
We've always been bald.
Well, according to the Jellyfisher Field Manual, severe jellyfish stick.
Well, I guess you're off to scale Spork Mountain and die a horrible death under the vicious tentacles of Kid. You do that! Don't worry, Squidward!
Okay. Yeah, so Funky Scott 47 is the tutorials I followed. I followed the one the how to mod a Wii tutorial that he has, and then also the how to play GameCube games on Wii Nintendo Guide 2024 one. So those both were really useful. So using those, and I followed those like to a T. I know sometimes it can be really easy, like when modding stuff, to kind of go off in your own direction or whatever if you kind of have an idea what you're doing. But I followed those tutorials pretty much exactly and got the Wii all modded and set up and everything. And then from there, I needed to download. So then from there, I actually had to get Dolphin emulator set up too, which Dolphin is pretty easy to set up. But to get games dumped can be a little bit of an extra process. So I downloaded the Clean Rip homebrew software. And then also I had to get a copy of Battle for Bikini Bottom, which was another thing I managed to get through my job, luckily, for cheap. So got Clean Rip installed, dumped Battle for Bikini Bottom, put that into Dolphin emulator, and then the instructions for Battle for Boo-kini Bottom went over how to actually get it to like mod correctly, and pretty much it's a little bit of an odd process, but it's kind of It's sort of something I think you sort of expect when you mod games and stuff, especially like console games and whatnot. But I had to what was it? I had to like use Dolphin to sort of like unsquishify the ISO file that I had gotten from Clean Rip of Battle for Bikini Bottom, and then sort of drag the Battle for Boo-kini Bottom mod thing into the like unsquished ISO files, and then like let it overwrite stuff. And then from there I had the, you know, modded Battle for Boo-kini Bottom, but then I wanted to make, I had to, in order to play it on the natural Wii. So at this point it worked fine in Dolphin, but the guide for getting this mod set up also happened to mention that you could turn it into its own ISO through Dolphin. So I did that, and then when I had the ISO file, I was like, oh hey, you know, I wonder, like, Nintendo can play GameCube ISO files. Like, I wonder if I put this back onto the Wii, if I can launch it on the actual Wii through Nintendo. And sure enough, I could. And so that's how we are here. And it's kind of a complicated process, and that's what I was saying a minute ago about how it might be something worth making a video on its own. But, yeah, it's pretty cool that this works. So when I was trying to think of like other stuff to talk about on this stream, gosh, I had a lot of things that I thought about talking about, but I really don't know if I'm gonna have that much time to talk about all of them. It's already been like 20 minutes. So, well, when I do my Christmas streams near the end of the year, I usually kind of do like a little recap of the year, and I was thinking like maybe for this stream I could kind of do sort of the opposite and talk about like goals for the rest of the year. So, here on the channel, I, like, in general, so this year has been a little bit weird, because this year's been pretty good. Like, I've gotten a lot of stuff done, but it also got kind of screwed up, like, midway through, because, like, honestly, the whole sleep apnea thing, kind of screwed me up in a lot of ways, because, like, I had to spend a bunch of money to get, like, some of that stuff fixed. I don't know if I can get over there. But, so, goals for the channel, I've been looking at my chart of like video ideas, and I've got some video ideas that are like larger video ideas that I've been meaning to work on for just like a long time. Like, some of these videos are ideas that I've had for literal, oh hey Gary, ah, the bungee jump, a bloody bungee jump. Bloody hook. Hey, we got the spatula, and I think we got all of the shiny things too. Yep. So, some of these video ideas I've had for a really long time and just never actually like started working on them, and so I think I want to try to do that. I've actually got a video that's coming out in just a couple hours that I pre-uploaded for actual Halloween. It's called Penguin Video. And so I've got that, but then I think, and also I've got another Grow a Garden from Roblox video that I recorded a while ago and only just now started editing. But I think after that, I want to try to work on some of these more complex videos just so I can kind of cross them off the list. Like, I don't know if they'll even be popular or anything, but I like the ideas, and I want to just get them done with. So I'd like to spend some time working on some of those. And so that's... Oh, SpongeBob's model got a little screwed up in this cutscene. So, that's one thing. I guess that's the main thing for the channel, is that I'd like to just kind of work on some of the big video ideas that I've had for a long time and haven't really worked on. And there's some other stuff too that's not necessarily like video related, but sort of like just like hobby related that I'd like to work on that I keep not getting to. Overall though, in a lot of ways, like, I'd kind of like to use the like remaining 2 months here in this year to kind of set myself up for next year. Because, like, you know, the beginning of the year, the bloody ball, I'm curious how much of the stuff in this mod really is edited, because there looks like a lot that's been changed around, even if it's just like palette swap stuff. Like, it looks really cool. From what I understand, there's also like a snow mod that could be interesting to look into, because like Christmas and stuff. But yeah, so like in a lot of ways, like this year started out really strong. Like I had managed to save up a bunch of money. This is blood. Oh my god. SpongeBob and Patrick and Sim, so don't let them fall in the blood. A lot of blood in this mod. Like this year it started out really strong. I had saved up quite a bit of money. And like it was going pretty well. Oh god. I don't know if this is gonna go so well. Yes, we got it. And then like the sleep apnea thing, when I got sent to the specialist for that, it's like, so it's a good thing that I got sent to the sleep apnea specialist in the long run, because I definitely have noticed a difference with like getting better sleep and stuff now that I've been treated for sleep apnea. But also like it became such a thing because it took up like a lot of my time to, like, I had to, the doctor wasn't that close. I had to go quite a ways. It cost money to get gas and stuff to go there. I had to like do the appointments. I had to do sleep apnea tests and stuff. I had to spend, and the main thing was I had to spend a ton of money on the mandibular adjustment device that I ended up getting, and that kind of screwed up the year because it really like messed with, like, it kind of just cleared out like all the money that I'd saved up this year. And so that being said, though, I feel like I have good aspirations for this upcoming year, and I think it'll work out pretty well. So my main goal for the rest of this year is just that, like, I just want to like get as much stuff done as possible, save up as much money as possible, and just really have a good start to next year. And then next year, like, really work hard on some stuff, because I think my main goal for this next year is gonna be like
Massaging your feet isn't working.
is gonna be like, I'd really like to move out of my mom's basement. Like, I'd really kind of like to work on getting a better job and getting my own place and stuff, and I think that's going to be kind of a big goal for me for next year. I have actually been looking at jobs again too, finally, because that was something I kept talking about, but in particular, my girlfriend helped me rewrite my resume. It looks so much nicer now. So I've been applying for some stuff, and we'll see what happens. It's just, I say this like every stream when I talk about real life. The area that I live in is very hard to afford now, and it wasn't like that until recently. And it just sucks because it's like, even my current job isn't that bad. And if I was in like a lot of other, what did I just pick up? If I was in like a lot of other areas, I would actually be making like really good money for the type of job that I have. But since I live where I live, it's just like everything's too dang expensive. I can't afford anything. I was doing the math. Here's some math, right? A condo where I live right now costs more than a condo in Manhattan. So yeah, that's the type of stuff that I'm dealing with in terms of, like, cost of living and stuff. But anyway, aside from that, something else I was wanting to talk about on stream tonight, because Halloween related. I've told a lot of stories on streams about like my real life and stuff, and like I've told a lot of stories in general here on this channel. But something that I feel like I haven't necessarily talked like a ton about is like, what is my family yelling about? Good God, everybody need to calm down. So I've not really talked about like my Halloweens when I was a kid. And I wanted to maybe talk about that for a little bit, even though I know the stream is already kind of like pretty, I'm not going to be able to stream for like super much longer. A golden turkey baster. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, hey, I'm playing as Patrick now. So yeah, Halloween when I was younger, like, I'm a fan of Halloween, and I really enjoy Halloween, and it kind of, it wasn't always a pumpkin, was it? No, it was a watermelon. Yeah. No, not that one. Okay. Not used to the GameCube controller. Man, there's so many clever swaps of things in this mod. Oh god, there's so much tutorial going on that I'm used to because I've already played this game so much since I was a kid. Yeah, nope. If I remember right, I gotta throw that up there. And then grab it, and then that. Yep. Yeah, Halloween was... I know how the game works. I know how the game works. Halloween was a pretty big deal when I was a kid, and so I thought about maybe talking about some of the stuff from when I was younger with Halloween, because, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, Franken-Tiki, like, there were some years when I was younger where I did, like, a lot from Halloween, but then there was a lot for Halloween, and then there were some years where I didn't really do that much for Halloween, and, trying to think of some good stories. I mean, I kind of thought about it throughout the day today. And there we go. It almost looks like a collectible, but it is not. So when I was younger, one thing I remember when I was younger was like Halloween at school. Something that always frustrated me when I was a kid, that even still kind of annoys me, is how like schools don't really like ever give Halloween off. Although I have, in my own life, I've seen that like in the area that I live in, there does seem to be a handful of schools that have been giving kids Halloween off this year. They've made it into like a staff development day or whatever, which is kind of cool. But that was one thing I remember from when I was a little kid, was just like Halloween a lot of the times ended up being on a weekday, and that always kind of sucked, because like, you know, you go trick-or-treating or whatever, but then why am I taking this pumpkin with me? I don't think I need to. You know, then you got school the next day, and like when you're a kid, you got to wake up super early for school because it starts at like 7 a.m. or whatever, in the US at least. And I remember that always kind of sucked, and I always found that kind of frustrating, especially because Halloween, like, I know it kind of comes and goes depending on the year, but like Halloween's a pretty big holiday in the US at least, and it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's a holiday that definitely could deserve to be a day off from school. But anyway, I remember when I was younger, I did trick-or-treating until like I was in like 5th grade, I think, and I remember like at school there was a lot of times where I think you could like wear your costume to school, which was always kind of cool. I remember I dressed as a ninja quite a few years. But okay, here's a story that I've told in bits and pieces before, but I don't think I've really ever told. So 5th grade, though, the last year that I remember going trick-or-treating, man, there was something that really frustrated me about school that year in regards to Halloween. I've talked about this tiny bit before, but I want to tell the full story. I want to make sure to get the whole story out. So when I was in 5th grade, the school year had started in like August or September or whatever, like late August, early September, something like that. And I remember we had, so even though like in elementary school you don't have to like change teachers, like your teacher is the one that teaches everything usually, throughout elementary school and middle school and stuff, like a lot of the schools that I went to would have like you would swap like teachers just to get you kind of prepared for in high school when you swap teachers, and in college when you swap like classrooms and stuff. And so we had like 4 teachers in 5th grade, and it was kind of weird because like it was only 2 and 2, so like there was like 2 sets of like classes kind of, and like you didn't actually swap with like all the teachers. But anyway, so this one day, like all the teachers in the grade got us together and were like, hey, you know, like we've got this idea, or maybe it was just my half of the thing, I don't remember. Anyway, they were like, hey, you know, we've got this idea, and wait, how do I get to that? Wait, oh god, I should have read the sign. Hang on. Pick up robots that have been stunned. Yes, I think I have to ground. Yes, that's what I thought. Throw you. Grab you. Oh, okay. So they came into the classroom and they called all of us together and they were like, okay, we've got this idea. They were like, you know, it'll be a great idea. Like, you know, we'll be able to put together this cool thing and we can like show it to your parents or whatever. And they were like, we want to teach you guys a dance and then we'll do like this performance of it. And like, it'll be really cool. Like all your parents can come. We'll have like an assembly or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, oh, like that sounds really cool. You know, that sounds like a good idea. And it was Michael Jackson's Thriller was the thing we were going to learn. And the thing was, none of us actually understood how long it was going to take. So they were like, okay, you know, but we'll have to take up like some of your recess time to do this so you guys can like rehearse and stuff. And we were like, okay, you know, like whatever, like this, you know, it doesn't seem like it'll take that long. It'll be kind of cool. And I remember like after the first like 2 weeks of no recess and just like rehearsing Michael Jackson's Thriller, a lot of us started to get pretty frustrated. Because we didn't realize like how much of a time commitment we had signed up to. Because there's, you know, it's like 2 months no recess, which kind of does a lot on a kid. But like we couldn't really get out of it. If I remember right, I think some of us even said something about it, and they like weren't gonna let us like not do it now or whatever. And so we were kind of stuck doing it, except for like a couple people who got out of it because like religious reasons. Because I've also talked about this a little bit before. I had some friends in elementary school whose parents were like super strange about Halloween and like anything spooky. But anyway, so we ended up doing that, and then I remember we did like the assembly, and it did turn out well, but I just remember so many of us were like frustrated that it had taken so long to do all that, and we just like, yeah, we were not very happy. I remember right, yeah, I gotta stun these guys and then throw them at those little islands. This is kind of hard. And if I remember right, we even, so that year I was in, I might be misremembering this, but I think this is how it happened. I was so frustrated with the whole thing with like giving up my recess and then having to do this like stupid like performance of Thriller and stuff that we had like a Halloween party, but I was like, I don't want to dress up as a zombie, like, you know, that kind of thing. And I actually left early. I got like permission. I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do the Halloween party this year. And I think I told my teacher about it, or like my mom had called or whatever about it. And yeah, so like I actually got out of school like an hour or half hour early or whatever that day because like I didn't want to do the actual Halloween party. But I think I did still go trick-or-treating afterwards. But I was just so fed up with like the whole thing that I was like, yeah, that's like, I'm done. Like, I do not want to do this. And I remember a lot of us were really annoyed about that. But yeah, that's one of the Halloween stories. Yeah, go swap that to SpongeBob. And then, what other Halloween stories do I have? There was a pretty long time where I didn't really do that much for Halloween because like I stopped trick-or-treating. Like I never really got invited to anything, but I do remember one time in high school I actually passed out candy. Well, I passed out candy a couple times. That was always interesting because it's been a long time since I actually got together like a proper Halloween costume, and I think I've mentioned on stream before that I got together a Halloween costume this year. But I remember this one year. Well, I dressed up as like, I had this like shirt that was like Canadian maple leaf with A in it, and that was like if I ever had anything where I had to dress up kind of last minute, I would just wear that and be like, I'm a Canadian for Halloween. um, and but yeah, I remember like this one year, I think it was my freshman year of high school. It was like getting kind of late actually. I wasn't doing anything. I was just doing like homework. And I got this like random phone call, which was like shocking because not only did I never get called, but I never even got texted by anybody in high school most of the time. And it was one of my friends, well, kind of friends, more like acquaintance. I guess looking back on high school, I really didn't have that many actual friends. It was mostly like people who I knew, but didn't really hang out with. But it was one of my friends, and she was like, oh, you know, a bunch of us are at my house passing out candy. You should come pass out candy. And I did. That was pretty fun. That was a fun thing. And then that was kind of it for a while. And then in college, I always felt kind of annoyed because, like, Halloween's a pretty big day in college because, like, there's a lot of parties and stuff. But it's like every year, either Halloween was on, like, a weekday and I had, like, a ton of stuff to do, or, like, I didn't get invited to anything or whatever. But I remember, I think I might have told this story already, but I'm going to tell it again because Halloween, yippee. Oh, actually, happy Halloween. It just turned into Halloween. Just past midnight. I remember when it was like, I remember when I first started college, kind of doing the math and looking ahead and realizing that like my senior year of college, Halloween was on a Saturday, I think. And I was like, oh man, that'll be so awesome because like, you know, I won't have class the next day. I won't have class at all that day. Like I can probably actually like go and do like a party or whatever, and like, or in like on Friday there'll probably be parties and stuff. And I was kind of pumped about it, and I was like, you know, like even if I don't get invited to anything, I'm just gonna get a costume and like wander around until somebody like pulls me into a party. And then of course pandemic happened my senior year of college, so that didn't happen. I didn't get to do anything like that. Instead, I got sat in my room all alone and do my radio show for college radio. Because the pandemic, like the campus, the school that I was at, like you couldn't even have people over into your room during the pandemic and stuff. So yeah, I didn't do anything. I remember they brought like some food trucks and they had like a socially distanced movie that they were showing and stuff. But yeah, it kind of sucked because like there wasn't really anything to do. And the thing with the pandemic that sucked especially was just that like it was like not only, you know, not only did it suck that like there was like all the requirements for like social distancing and everything, but it was like, you know, COVID, like you didn't want to get sick either, so it's like you didn't really have a choice. Even if you didn't want to follow, like even if you thought social distancing was stupid or whatever, it was like there was a very real risk of getting sick if you went to anything. So yeah, but of course like I wanted to follow the guidelines and stuff, but yeah, so that was my somewhat disappointing senior Halloween. And then eventually, since I hadn't done anything for Halloween for a few years, I kind of just started making it into like a shopping day for myself, because I was like, well, like if I'm not gonna do anything else for Halloween, like I might as well just go like buy some stuff. Like why not? And I remember I did that in grad school, and actually back when I still had the Quentin's video. Oh dude. That sucks. I just fell so far. Back when I had the Quentin's Video Emporium channel, I actually had done some videos, or done a video on Halloween when I was in grad school where I went shopping and stuff, and that was over in the UK, and I don't think I actually did anything like fun for Halloween that year. Like I don't think, like I didn't have a costume together or anything, and I think I don't think there was really that much going on. I think I had classes the next day too. So yeah, I didn't really do anything other than shopping. But and I didn't really do anything last year either. But this year I finally have not like a super like Halloween plan, but one of my family members actually asked of all the things if I wanted to go gambling on Halloween, and I was like, heck yeah, sure, that's something to do. So, and I think I've said that like on stream on the past couple streams already, but yeah, so that's my Halloween plan is gambling. But yeah, that'll be fun. I'll play some spooky slot machines. I actually do have a Halloween costume together too for the first time in a long time, which is another thing that I think I've described, but I watched Ikebukuro Westgate Park, the like early 2000s Japanese drama recently, and the G-boys in that, who are kind of like a they're like, the way I've been describing them to people when I've explained it is like hoodlums with a heart. The ghost. They're kind of like this like, oh, I just bent one of my toenails the wrong way. Ow, oh, that hurts. Oh man, how did that happen? I was itching my foot with my other foot, and ow, that hurt. They are kind of like a harmless like gang, kind of. They don't really do that much, and they end up helping out the main character Makoto in the show with various things. Like whenever he has to like find a missing person or whatever, they help him like hang up posters, or if there's somebody who needs to be like interrogated, they'll like help him interrogate. Oh, look at Bat on the King Jellyfish's health bar. So they do a lot of that kind of thing. Oh, I need to focus a little bit. They do a lot of that kind of thing, and I was like, oh, that's like an easy enough outfit. I just gotta like kind of, you know, get together like a, you know, 2000s, like their color is yellow, and I was like, okay, like that's straightforward. Like I just gotta get together like some yellow clothes that kind of match, and I went a little bit all out with it. There's one of the characters, one of the G-boys from the show has this hat that says G-boys on it. And so I went and I got a custom G-boys hat ordered that looks like the one that guy wears in the show. And I got a yellow bandana, and I got, there's a local sports team. It's kind of a smaller sports team, but like their color is yellow nonetheless, so I figured, okay, that'll work. I got a jersey for them. And yeah, it turned out really well. I looked in the mirror and I was like, yeah, like this actually works really well. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to wear to a casino. You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get through all the stuff that I want to talk about tonight, so I kind of speed ran it. But I actually did get through like everything that I wanted to talk about already, so that's good. Oh man, I hurt my toe. Oh man, that hurt. Oh, Larry the Lobster.
Hey there. It looks like you'll have to make a huge jump at the end of that ramp in order to reach that goal.
Wow, that's a mighty big leap.
I think, even if you miss that jump, I think you can still do it again, though. Man, these sliding levels in Battle for Bikini Bottom and the SpongeBob movie, I think they... Oh. Well then. I'm out of underwear.
Go SpongeBob, go SpongeBob, go
And I think they were in Cosmic Shake, but I'm not sure. I really like these sliding levels that they have in these games. The game Fast Penguin almost reminds me of them. It's kind of similar physics. I should look and see if there's been a mod made for Battle for Bikini Bottom that has like more sliding levels, because I really do enjoy these. I remember on the SpongeBob movie game, I think I even found out like a super huge shortcut on one of the levels in that. Someday I'll have to do maybe a playthrough of Battle for Bikini Bottom and or the movie game. It's just one of those things that's a little tough because Battle for Bikini Bottom is linear but not entirely, so it's a little hard to do because like there's so many spatulas that are kind of all over the place. When I played through the remastered version, I kind of managed to get all the spatulas at the same time. But
Anything my
What if I just gave you...
Yeah, so like, see on this level right here, I think I've just obtained all the spatulas while not even really paying that much attention, because a lot of the times they're like on the way. You don't really ever have to go too far out of your way to find them. But it can actually take quite a while to do all of them. Actually, if I get one more spatula, I could check out Goo Lagoon real quick before I end the stream. Because, yeah, this stream is unfortunately not going to be super long, even though this is a pretty cool thing that I have set up here. But like I said, I might do like a video on this in the future, or maybe I could even stream this again at some point. Although, I am remembering now that I didn't save my progress, so, yeah. If I were to stream this more, though, in the future, I probably would stream it on an emulator, just because I could, like, make the resolution better and stuff. And it probably would be less likely to crash. Although, that being said, I haven't encountered any oddities so far, so... Golden underwear, but I gotta try to get to... Oh, no. I missed it. Gotta try to get to SpongeBob's roof. There we go. If I can get to SpongeBob's roof, then I can grab one more spatula, and then we can go to Goo Lagoon and check it out. I bet it's probably called like Blood Lagoon or something in this mod. This camera angle is really not helping me here though. There we go, got it. I think I have enough for downtown Bikini Bottom too, but I'm kind of more interested in Goo Lagoon right now, so. Yeah, Blood Lagoon.
Goo Lagoon.
Blood Lagoon.
Sludge at the bottom of the sea. But all is not well here on Paradise.
Man, this really is such a cool mod. Like, there's so much stuff that's been changed. It's so cool. Blood Bash. Battle for Bikini Bottom really is such a solid game. I've been contemplating, but I'm still not entirely sure about pre-ordering the new SpongeBob game, Titans of the Tide. But I don't know, like the thing is, like, it's hard to get games in like a reasonable amount of time now because places just don't carry anything. It's one of those things where I know, like, if I pre-order it from somewhere, like, I can probably get it on release day, but in like that's either on release day, like having it delivered to my house, or release day, like going and picking it up from the store. But it's just like a lot of the places that you can still do like, if you order it online, you don't know for sure if you're gonna get it on release day. And then, oh wait, this is for later, isn't it? Yeah, with moving the mirrors around. You don't know if you're gonna get it on release day if you order it to your house, and then if you order it to a store, a lot of the stores that do pickups on the day of release, like, they don't open till later, because it's like Best Buy and GameStop, and that kind of sucks. And the thing is, like, Walmart opens pretty early. Walmart opens at like 6 a.m. But you don't know for sure. Like, you can't pre-order a game at Walmart, at least like anymore, as far as I know. And you don't know for sure if they're gonna have it in stock. Like, like, I never know with my local Walmarts if they're gonna have stuff in stock or not. The other day I went, and one of them, I actually went really early to Walmart, and one of them actually had the Outer Worlds too. And I was like, I didn't even realize that this was coming out, like, right now. And fun fact, they actually had it out a whole day early, that Walmart. But it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like Titans of the Tide, since it's a SpongeBob game, there's a good chance that it will be out, like, on release day at, like, a place like Walmart. Because, like, kids' games and stuff are popular. And, like, you know, it's pretty likely that they would have it in stock. But I don't know. And so that kind of sucks. So we'll see. I don't know. I might pre-order it. I might wait and see if it like appears at local Walmart at 6 a.m. Might even be able to ask and see if they know if they'll be getting it in, but that's kind of hard to do because like sometimes people don't. Whoa, where am I going? Okay, sure. We'll pick this candy up while we're at it though. People don't always like know, so I think there's some websites or something though that let you see that kind of thing, but I don't know for sure. Because I remember when the PS5 and the Xbox Series X were really hard to get, there was like websites that you could check that would like show you if stores were getting inventory or whatever of stuff, but I don't remember if those were accurate or not. Man, I really kind of sped through this. But anyway, I know it's kind of an abrupt stopping point, but I actually do want to get to bed relatively soon. So thank you guys for watching the stream. Happy Halloween. Hope you guys have good Halloween. Get lots of candy. Don't get spooked too much by any ghouls or goblins or wraiths. But yeah, thanks for watching. This was really cool to set up, even though it took like a long time to set up. This is really cool, and I'm really like it's really impressive that it works on an actual Wii. And I might have to check this out, and I definitely gotta check out some other Battle for Bikini Bottom mods in the future eventually. But I have so many things that I need to work on. So we'll see. It might be a while before I cover any more of this type of stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in other stuff in the future. Have a nice